Hello, Lincoln High School. All right, we're back again. We are now doing the cropping assignment. This is in Unit 2, 1-1 Photoshop, cropping. So for this assignment, we're going to go ahead and download these first two photos here onto our computer so we can work with them. So let's go ahead and click on the first one. Make sure you click on the download image button here. If you right click and save, the picture is not going to be high enough quality, so make sure you go ahead and click download image, get that one downloaded to your computer. I'm sticking my downloads here. And then also this one here. All right. So for this assignment, there's some issues with these pictures in addition to cropping, but for this assignment we're just going to focus on cropping. So first we're going to crop this first photo we downloaded to 5:7 aspect ratio, and then the second photo we will crop it to 11:14, and we'll go over how to do that. Then we're going to take both images and place them on a Photoshop document and label. All right, and right here is an example of what it should look like when you're done. All right, so let's go ahead and open up Photoshop. All right, and this time we're going to go ahead and do File, Open, because we want to open up the pictures by themselves. So we're not doing Place this time, or at least not yet. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this first one, which is called IMG_5189. Probably not the best name, but that's what it was named, and I didn't rename it. All right, so we got this picture of the zebra and his handler here. But if you also notice, we got a lot of distracting things going on here in the scene. We got these people all looking and all that kind of stuff. So we want to go ahead and crop them out. So we are learning about the crop tool today. So if we go down, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tools down. This one right here is the cropping tool. You can also hit the C on your keyboard to jump to it. We'll go cropping tool. So right now we're in the cropping tool, and I can just freely crop however I want the way it's set up right now, which is great, and we can crop it way down and get rid of a lot of this distracting stuff. And when I have it where I want it, I can hit enter, and there we go. I got a nice crop. But I'm going to go ahead and undo that. But let's say that we wanted to print it for something specifically. So let's say I wanted to make a 5:7 print. So I want to crop it to a 5:7 aspect ratio, which is what this assignment is asking you to do. So in order to get a 5:7 aspect ratio, up here along the top in our cropping tool are our options, and we can go ahead and set our ratio to 5:7. And now when I adjust this box, it's going to stay 5:7, and it won't change the aspect at all away from that, so that when I'm done, I have a nice 5:7 photo. Again, I'm going to try to go ahead and cut out this sign over here. With the rule of thirds, it's usually a good idea to have your main subject on these third lines, and this cropping tool automatically pulls up this rule of thirds guide for us. So I'm going to go ahead and put the handler right here on this right hand third, and I'm going to put the zebra right here on the left hand third, and I think that'll look pretty nice. And I'll hit the enter key here, and there we go. We got a nice 5:7 photo. And now we need to go ahead and open up our other photo. So I'll go ahead and open up our other photo, which was called Zebra Chad, I believe, or Safari Chad. There it is. All right, so this is a pretty cool photo. But again, we could probably get a little bit closer. We could get rid of this red box here that's kind of standing out, and maybe this sign back here, staff and facility parking only. So this time I want you guys to go ahead and crop it to 11:14. It's another standard print size. So we'll go ahead and go to the crop tool again. We'll set our ratio to 11:14. All right. Now I could just crop it like this, but what happens when I do that? just say I do that. Right? I'm cutting off some of the signs, so I don't really want to do that. So let's edit undo that. So instead with this 11 by 14 crop, what I would like to do is get it flipped the other way so that it is, so I can get the whole sign in here. So let's see. I can hit the 2 arrows right here and that would flip it the other way for me. And then I can just go ahead and crop it down. And let's see if I could save this sign and still get rid of this fire alarm in the background, as well as that other sign back there. That looks pretty good. Again, I got that zebra right there on that third line, so that makes a pretty good spot. I'll go ahead and hit the enter key. And there we go. Now we got that new photo. All right, so now I want you guys to take both these photos and put them on a new Photoshop document. So a couple of ways you can do this. You can go ahead and create a new document. Again, we're going to stick with our 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So 8.5 by 11. Remember, 300 pixels per inch. All right. Currently, when you do that, it is set up in portrait mode. This is going to work better in landscape, if I remember correctly. Yeah, our example here is in landscape. Oh, because we cropped it that way, 11 by 14. Okay, but I cropped it the other way, 11 by 14. So we'll go ahead and go landscape, hit create. All right, get out of my crop tool here. I'm on the move tool. So easy way to do this is I can just click on this background layer here and drag it. So click and hold and drag it up onto entitled and drag it down onto my image or onto my document. And then I just go ahead and shrink it down. And there's my first picture. All right. And then I can go over here and grab my other one. So same thing, click on the background, hold it down, drag it up to my new document, and then drag it down into my document and let go, and it'll show up there. All right, so I got my two photos in here. Another way you could do it is you could just go ahead and go File, Save As, save it as a JPEG. So actually, I'll go ahead and go Save As. I'll just go ahead and save it just the same names that it already had. Right? And then just like we did before, if we wanted to get them in here, we'd go File, Place Embedded, and then we'd go find those images. There's the first one and hit Place, right? So 2 different ways to do it. I find dragging it's easier. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we want to label them. So we need our text tool. So let's go ahead and grab the text tool. First one here was supposed to be 5 by 7. So we'll type in 5 by 7. And I'm going to double click here. Go ahead and click on the text, and we're going to make it bigger so I can see it. I might even change the font. All right, and move it down here. There's my 5 by 7. Or if I wanted to change the color, I could use the color picker here. Maybe pick color out of the picture here. Hit OK. All right, text box again. Next one is 11 by 14. All right, I'll go ahead and get that in place over here. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a background layer here, background color. So again, we could do that. We can just put in a shape, rectangle tool. And then when you use the rectangle tool here, we can move it down to the bottom layer. And we can pick a new color. So I'll use the color picker here. And grab a color from a shirt. And hit OK. All right. If you want to get more advanced, you can use a gradient. So right here is a gradient tool. And you can go in here and you can choose one of these gradients. There's a nice blue and gold. Oops. All right, you can go in here and you can adjust a lot of those settings on the gradient and how it looks. You can also, if you want to kind of freeform your own gradient, you could use the gradient tool itself. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off this rectangle here that I created. I'm going to click on the background layer. And I'm going to move up to the gradient tool right here. And with the gradient tool, I can click up here and I can go ahead and customize any of these gradients. So if I go new gradient, oh, no. How do I do it? Here we go. Click on the gradient. Brings up the gradient editor. I can decide, okay, I want this one to be the blue from his shirt right there. I want this to be the same gold color that's right there, maybe. Oh, I don't know. And I could even use like the red color right here. We could have a crazy gradient. All right, we could pick how quickly it transitions from one color to the other. Oops. So right here, this little diamond allows me to make some changes to the transition. What happened to my blue? Let's get this back to blue. There we go. All right. Okay, and then I can click and drag with the gradient tool and put that in the background here. All right, and that's it. I could go ahead and add some layer styles to my pictures if I wanted. So if I want to add in that stroke like we did before, or maybe a drop shadow. Right, you can always fancy these things up a little bit. I'm holding down the Alt key and I'll copy over that effect to the other picture. And I can even add some effects to the fonts if I wanted to. All right. Hold down the Alt key, copy that over too. So there we go. I'm all done with my assignment here. Now I'm ready to turn it in. Pretty easy assignment. Go up to File. We'll go ahead and go Save As. Again, if I wanted to keep making changes, I could save it as a Photoshop file. Right? That's so I could edit it later if I needed to. Or I could go ahead and click Save As. Oops. Gotta give it a second to do the first save. All right. And save it as a JPEG in order to turn it in. Click Save. Again, I want to keep the quality pretty high. Hit OK. And then I'll go into Schoology, find that photo, and turn it in. All right, that's it. Good luck.